Welcome to the Deep Dive, where we bring you the most impactful AI news. And you know what's really cool about this deep dive? It was actually researched and generated using AI. So it's like meta, right?
Definitely meta. And
Uh,
it's pretty amazing to see AI popping up everywhere. We're talking healthcare, finance, even agriculture. AI is becoming a part of our daily lives.
you're absolutely right. And speaking of, let's start with responsible AI, a really hot topic as AI gets more and more powerful. So FICO, they're the credit score people, just snagged a huge award for, well, doing something really cool with blockchain. They're using it to track AI models.
Yeah, the whole life cycle from start to finish. It's a big deal because, well, it tackles this issue of transparency in AI, right? Like
Yeah.
with blockchain, FICO is creating a record, an unchangeable one of every single step, like how an AI model is developed, how it's trained, and how it's actually used. That's huge for, stopping bias and making sure things are fair, especially in like loans or healthcare where the stakes are super high.
It's like a digital footprint for every AI decision. You can see where it came from, how it was made, and if there was any bias, right? That kind of transparency it's like the key to actually trusting these systems.
Totally. Like, can you imagine, being able to see exactly why you got denied for a loan or why an AI recommended a specific treatment? That kind of transparency it would really empower people to make better decisions.
Okay, ready for something that sounds like straight up sci-fi. Researchers down in Australia at CSIRO have figured out how to use quantum computing to boost machine learning. And get this, it analyzes huge data sets with crazy speed and accuracy.
Yeah, they were looking at groundwater monitoring as an example, but the potential, it just blows your mind, right?
Yeah, because it tackles a big hurdle in machine learning, the need for tons of data and like massive computing power. Quantum computers can like crunch through data sets that would take regular computers, I don't know, forever.
It's like having a super brain that can spot those hidden patterns and connections in the data. Think drug discovery, material science, climate modeling. It could change everything.
It really does. Like imagine optimizing traffic in real time. No more traffic jams and it's good for the environment. Or like personalized medicine based on your own genes. It's wild.
Yeah, it's not just sci-fi anymore. Quantum machine learning is, well, it's becoming a reality.
Speaking of reality, let's talk healthcare. A new study from Moffitt Cancer Center, it shows that AI can actually help doctors make more consistent decisions
Mhm.
about radiotherapy for cancer.
But here's the kicker. The doctors, they didn't always agree with the AI's recommendations.
So the AI isn't always right.
Not necessarily, and that's actually a good thing. It shows that you still need human expertise, clinical judgment. It's not just about replacing doctors with
It's
robots.
more like AI is a tool, right? It
Yeah.
can help, it can give insights, but ultimately the doctor is the one making the call.
Right, finding that balance, the AI insights and the human touch, it's going to be key.
Now, for something totally different, a Chinese company, DeepSeek, they've released this open source AI model, and it's causing quite a stir.
It's called DeepSeek R1, and it's kind of a rival to OpenAI's GPT.
So it's like just as powerful.
Yeah, performance-wise, it's right up there, but the development cost, it's way lower. This could really change the game. I mean, OpenAI's models are incredible, but they're expensive to develop. They need specific hardware. DeepSeek's model being open source, it could like level the playing field, and that's exciting.
You're talking smaller companies, researchers, everyone getting access to cutting edge AI. Imagine the innovation.
Yeah, exactly. It raises so many questions like what will AI development look like in the future? Will it be more collaborative, more open? It's fascinating.
While we're pondering the future, there's a recent survey by Wiley that shows workers are actually pretty worried about AI in their jobs.
Yeah, they're worried about adapting their skills and staying relevant. It's a real concern.
It's a $1 million question, right?
Yeah.
How do we adapt to this AI-powered workplace
Mhm.
and make sure everyone benefits?
Lifelong learning, definitely. Upskilling it's not optional anymore. It's a must. And it's not just about, technical skills. It's the human stuff too, the things AI can't do.
Critical thinking, right? Creativity.
Exactly. Those are going to be the skills that really set us apart.
So there are people working on this, like the researchers at Texas A&M. They're using AI to improve what they call sensory motor skill training.
Yeah, think of it as like anything that needs your senses and your muscles to work together.
Okay, so like a surgeon or an athlete.
Exactly. It takes years to master those skills, but AI could speed things up. They're developing these models that can analyze your movements, give you real-time feedback, like having an AI coach in your pocket.
Wow, imagine like training programs that can help us learn faster, become surgeons, athletes, anything. That's incredible.
Yeah, and speaking of helping us, AI is tackling big global challenges too. Scientists are using deep learning to improve global sea level predictions.
Especially in areas where they don't have a lot of historical data.
Exactly. That's key for coastal communities, the ones facing climate change and rising sea levels. Accurate predictions, they're crucial for planning. Think adaptation, mitigation strategies. With AI, we can analyze this complex climate data, find patterns, make better projections, even where data is, well, scarce.
So AI is helping us prepare for the future.
Yeah, and speaking of the future, the U.S. Copyright Office just made a big decision about AI and copyright. They said that just giving an AI creative prompts doesn't make you the author.
So the AI is the author.
Not exactly. They're saying that copyright still protects human creativity. It's a tricky situation.
Yeah, I mean, our current copyright laws, they weren't made for a world with AI that can make music, write poetry, paint.
Right. It's a whole new world.
Yep.
Where's the line between human and machine creativity? How do we protect everyone's rights? Big questions.
While we figure that out, there are places like the University of Wyoming, they're actually investing in AI research, big time. They just started a funding program to support all sorts of AI projects.
It's across a bunch of disciplines like environmental science, medicine, and energy optimization. It shows that AI is becoming more important in academia.
It's like the possibilities are endless. AI is impacting everything. It's improving healthcare, tackling climate change, even revolutionizing how we learn.
It's a wild ride.
It really is, and we've only just scratched the surface. There's so much more to explore.
It's wild how AI is like showing up in places you wouldn't expect. Do you know it's being used to predict how coolant jets from supersonic vehicles behave?
Coolant jets. That's pretty specific. How does that work, and why is it so important?
So basically, they're using AI to model the dynamics of how these jets interact with the air, at supersonic speeds. It's a really tough problem to solve with traditional methods. But machine learning, it can analyze all this data from simulations and experiments. It can spot patterns and make predictions.
So being able to predict these jet behaviors, what's the benefit?
Well, it could lead to way better aircraft design. Think about it. Optimizing the shape, the placement, and then you can reduce noise, make them more fuel efficient, maybe even make them easier to maneuver.
So AI could make supersonic travel better and more sustainable.
Exactly. And speaking of pushing boundaries, there's this new AI model, EpiBERT. It's making big waves in genomics.
EpiBERT. Tell me more.
Okay, so EpiBERT, it's a game changer for understanding how our genes work. It can actually predict which genes are expressed in any human cell type.
Hold on, back up. Expressed. What does that even mean, and why is it such a big deal?
Think of your DNA as a massive instruction manual for, building and running your body. Each gene has the code for making a specific protein. And these proteins, they do all sorts of things in our cells, but not all genes are active.
So they're not all, what did you call it, expressed?
Right. So EpiBERT, it can figure out which genes are turned on and which ones are off in different types of cells.
Wow. So knowing that can tell us how that cell works.
Exactly. Whether it's healthy or if something's wrong. Think about it. EpiBERT could help researchers figure out which genes are involved in, cancer, Alzheimer's, and then, they can develop better treatments.
It's like personalized medicine on a whole new level.
Exactly. But even with all this amazing AI, we can't forget, the human side of things.
Mm-hmm.
Those MIT projects, the ones focusing on human AI collaboration, they're pretty inspiring.
Yeah, I was really interested in those.
One project, they had this AI tool that helped writers, get over writer's block. It would suggest different ideas, different ways to approach things.
So helping writers be more creative, not replacing them.
Exactly. It's all about, augmenting human capabilities. Other projects were looking at personalized education, making learning more engaging for all kinds of students.
It seems like there's this fear that AI will take our jobs and make us obsolete. But these projects, they show a different future, right? Humans and machines working together.
Totally. I mean, AI can free us from those boring, repetitive tasks, and then we can focus on the things that make us human, creativity, critical thinking, all that good stuff.
And that brings us back down to earth. Literally, AI is transforming agriculture. Bonsai Robotics just got a ton of funding to develop AI-powered solutions for farming.
Yeah, $15 million dollars to be exact. Their main product is called Vision Steer, and it's a great example of, well, how AI can make farming more efficient, more sustainable too. It uses computer vision and machine learning to help growers. Like, imagine a tractor that can spot weeds and target them automatically. Less herbicide.
That's amazing. So not robots taking over farms, but helping farmers, making things better.
Right. AI can help us tackle those big challenges, climate change, labor shortages. How are we going to feed everyone sustainably? These are big questions, but AI can be part of the solution.
We've covered a lot today, from responsible AI to quantum computing to even supersonic aircraft and AI tractors. It's
Yeah.
clear AI is everywhere.
And it's just getting started.
But it's not all sunshine and roses, right?
Yeah.
We've seen how AI can bring up, ethical issues, and it can be tough for workers to adapt. Even companies like Apple are having trouble.
Yeah, they've been trying to integrate AI features into their products, but they've hit some snags like technical issues and regulations in certain markets. Like in China, the government has these restrictions on AI, and it's slowed Apple down.
Didn't they have to pull their AI news summary tool? Something about inaccurate headlines. That's a big deal for a company like Apple.
It just shows you AI development, it's complicated. It's unpredictable. Anyone can make mistakes, even the big players. It highlights how important it is to test these systems thoroughly, to be responsible about how we use them.
It's a reminder that we need to be cautious and thoughtful about how we approach AI.
But we shouldn't be afraid of it. I mean, look at all the amazing things we talked about today.
Absolutely. The key is, like you said before, finding that balance.
Yeah.
Harnessing AI's power, but also being aware of the risks.
Exactly. Open discussions, collaboration, and a willingness to learn and adapt. That's what we need.
And speaking of adapting, we can't forget about those anxieties that workers are feeling, about AI and their jobs.
It's understandable, AI will automate some things, and yeah, some jobs might disappear. But it also has the potential to create new ones, to make existing jobs better.
It's like every big technological change, right? There are going to be winners and losers.
Yeah.
But in the end, society benefits. We get more productive, more innovative.
But we have to make sure those benefits, they're shared, that workers have the support they need to adapt. That means, investing in education, in training programs. We need to give people the skills for this new world.
It's about embracing that lifelong learning, always being curious and always learning new things.
Exactly. And don't forget your own human skills. Those are valuable. AI might be great at data and doing tasks, but it can't be creative. It can't empathize. It can't think critically or solve those really complex problems. Those are the things that make us human, and those are the skills that will matter.
One thing that's really striking me today is AI isn't just a tech thing anymore. It's in healthcare, it's in agriculture, it's even in supersonic flight. It's a part of our lives, even if we don't always realize it.
You're absolutely right. It's everywhere, and it's important for everyone to have at least a basic understanding of AI, of how it works and what it means for us. We can't just sit back and watch it happen. We need to be involved.
AI literacy is becoming essential.
Yeah.
Knowing how to use a computer, we need to be informed. We need to be able to talk about the ethics of AI, the benefits, the risks, and how we want to shape the future of all this.
Couldn't agree more. The future of AI, it's not set in stone. We're all creating it with every choice we make, with everything we do.
So to wrap up our deep dive into AI, I think the message is we all have a role to play here.
Whether it's, speaking up for responsible AI, finding ways to keep learning, or even just staying up to date on what's happening, we can all make a difference and help make sure AI is a force for good.
So we've talked about a lot today. What really stands out to you as the biggest AI trend right now?
I think accessibility is a big one. I mean, you've got DeepSeek going head-to-head with the big guys with their open source model, the University of Wyoming putting money into all kinds of AI research. It's like anyone can get involved now, and that's pretty exciting.
It really feels like AI isn't just for the tech giants anymore. It's becoming more, I don't know, democratic. And that could lead to so much more innovation, right? Because more people can actually use these tools.
Exactly. And that kind of ties into another trend we saw, the focus on humans and AI working together, those MIT projects, they were a perfect example of how we can use AI to make us better, not to replace us.
Yeah, because there's all this fear about AI stealing jobs,
Yeah.
but it's more complicated than that, right? Like we were saying, AI is a tool,
Right.
and like any tool, it depends on how we use it.
That FICO story, that's a great example. They're using blockchain to make AI models more transparent.
More accountable, and
Yeah.
and that's key for building trust, right?
Imagine like being able to trace any AI decision, a loan, a medical diagnosis, even a job rejection, and you can see the reasoning behind it. That kind of transparency would change everything. And it would empower people, right, to actually challenge those decisions if they think they were unfair. Because we can't forget AI, it's made by people. And people, while they make mistakes, we need ways to make sure these systems are used ethically.
So for someone listening to all this, what's the takeaway? What can they actually do, with all this AI stuff changing so fast?
First thing, stay curious. Don't be afraid to learn about this stuff. Read, listen, talk about it. The more we understand, the better we can shape AI for the better, right?
And like you said before, never stop learning. Things change so fast. What you know today might be outdated tomorrow.
Totally. And remember, what makes you human, those are your strengths. AI can crunch numbers and do all those repetitive things, but it can't be creative, it can't understand emotions, it can't solve those big messy problems. Those are the things that make us valuable.
As we wrap up our deep dives into the world of AI, I'm feeling, I don't know, a little bit of awe and a lot of, well, responsibility. AI has this incredible potential to solve problems, to make our lives better, but we have to use it wisely.
Couldn't agree more. The AI revolution is happening and we're all part of it. So let's make sure it's a future where humans and machines, they work together to make the world, well, a better place.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into AI. We hope you learned something and maybe even had your mind blown a little. Until next time, keep exploring.